You cut that out now, or you'll go home in man pants.
Because we're gonna go in there, we're gonna impeach them up.
We will not go quietly into the night.
I'm not gonna let him come here and burn this flag.
So the portion
You don't
of what
think
we do.
you have a monopoly?
America will never be a socialist country.
America, we are your heretics. I'm Austin Wolf.
And my name's Nathan Moss, and it's time for some heresy.
Yes, and today we're going to be spreading some heresy around this particular video. Oh, YouTube allows harassment on its site by the insider. And oh boy.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. You see, it mentions our lovely friends at Vox, as well as Steven Crowder, so it should be a doozy.
Let's just get right into this. Nathan, you want to take us away?
So sure, I would love to.
YouTube is arguably the biggest and most influential social media platform in existence. But gone are the days when YouTube's primary export was funny cat videos. Today, YouTube is the primary platform for just about every topic of video, from workout tutorials to beauty guru feuds, and this.
There's a lot of cool stuff in here, but I am not an energy policy expert, so I have questions.
What were you holding, gay Latino from Vox?
I do love how they start off right off the bat with, oh, and this. Oh, this disgusting piece of material here. Oh yeah, we really got him, guys. It's like you just now realize that YouTube has late night shows. It's kind of amazing.
Yeah, and it seems a bit biased where they pause, because they just show, you know, our friends at Vox just doing the normal video. Well, then they show Crowder just attacking Vox, which of course he has done in a few of his videos, but it's not what he does a majority of the time. That's not quite fair.
So, I mean, obviously YouTube isn't very polite in general. There's a lot worse stuff. Anybody who's watched, Leafy is Here or anything like that knows that YouTube is.
Leafy is Here.
YouTube is not the most, what's the word? Polite platform, I guess, is the best. And
got
YouTube
a lot
drama
of different content,
and we have old channels dedicated to YouTube drama, and so
like Keemstar, Philip DeFranco, these types.
And it's interesting that they portray like this clip as harassment, because isn't that just saying what he is? He is a gay Latino man from Vox.
Yes. I mean, his Twitter handle is Gay Wonk. I mean, it's a pretty fair statement. I mean, Carlos Maza is a gay Latino who works at Vox. I don't think he said anything that's incorrect.
Yeah, but you know what? This is not like new for the inconsistent left. They always shout someone's identity as an insult or as a matter of pride. So they'll shout, for example, this.
I know me. You're fucking a white male.
Or they'll just shout, I'm so prideful. I am a gay black woman of color. Wait, woman of color. Don't dock me down for that.
It's first person of color.
Person of color.
Not colored person, because that's right.
Yeah, no, not the. No. So I'm kind of still confused though. Is Maza gay? I mean, apparently he's taking it as an insult.
I mean, he must be a gay wonk, but apparently that's insulting.
Is that like in the locker room where you're like acting really gay for your friends, but then you turn around and like, oh no, guys, I'm actually really straight.
Oh yeah, don't worry, I'm wearing socks. Yeah, seems a little fishy if you ask me.
Yeah, looks over in the urinal at you. No, man, I'm actually straight. But anyways, enough about that bit. Let's move on.
I know.
For making a name for himself on the platform. That video was a rebuttal to this video by Carlos Maza, a producer at Vox.
Trump had tweeted a bullshit claim that the Green New Deal would somehow ban cars, cows, and the military. How would you ban a cow?
While both commentators are taking jabs at the other side of the aisle, the difference between their language couldn't be any clearer.
This is what Mr. Gay Vox wants to do. Mr. Lispy Queer from Vox. The Gay Vox sprite is wrong! Now he could be a tranny, Your Honor!
Oh, come on.
I just found this part was the best. Yes. Like, it's actually kind of funny. I mean, granted, it's a little childish, and people are saying about Crowder, it's childish, but it's kind of funny.
I mean,
this guy is like, totally not funny. Nope, not even laughing.
Yeah,
not
oh my
funny.
God. How dare you? It's like, but I mean, come on, man. Pair that with what he said in context, though, and it's just a small joke on the back of just the hilarity of the Green New Deal. I mean, it's a joke within a joke.
Exactly.
And also, which one would you rather watch?
I mean, both sound pretty good if you ask me. But the funny part is that Vox did, of course, it was wrong. The Green New Deal did want to ban cows and planes and cars and everything that normal people use. I think that was the best part.
Yeah.
A lot of the late night hosts were slandering the president and that, and that's okay. That's not harassment. They get monetized. That's funny. We're all supposed to laugh at that. But say wispy queer from Vox. Okay, now that's pushing the line. It's kind of a double standard. It's just ridiculous.
In a viral tweet thread, Mazza complained to YouTube about this harassment, and it removed the videos in question from the site, underlining an effort to make sure they're hosting a safe and inclusive platform for creators. I'm sorry, what? YouTube actually did the complete opposite.
This is a good thing, I would imagine.
It is, exactly.
And it's also within the context of what's happened recently with BPS getting put back on. It's clear YouTube does not want the heat that they're getting from both sides, and they're just trying to figure out ways to make it work for everyone.
Exactly.
YouTube responded to Mazza by saying that while it found Crowder's language hurtful, he did not violate its policies. The question here is why not? Does YouTube have a responsibility to regulate this? According to YouTube's own harassment policy, video...
Okay, now see, this I think is ridiculous. Because this, what the insider, what they're trying to say is that, well, what Crowder is doing is definitely harassment. Therefore, he needs to be banned. But the problem is that what he's doing is not harassment. You see, harassment, what it means, its definition is aggressive pressure or intimidation. All Crowder is doing is making jokes about someone who makes videos on the internet and someone who works with a big company. They're jokes. They're not saying go kill yourself. They're not saying you're a horrible person. They're just saying he's a lesbian queer from Vox, he's a gay Latino, things like that. Yes. Like, sure, it's not necessarily nice, but it doesn't threaten. It's not malicious. It doesn't harass. It doesn't bully. And a lot of those things are things that Carlos Mazza said himself. So I just think that where they're coming from is just ridiculous. Because if you assume that what Crowder's doing is harassment, then of course it should be banned. Except it isn't harassment.
Right.
So if you look at this from a point of it's harassment, then YouTube seems to be doing something wrong. But when you take a step back, realize that Crowder is just making jokes, whether funny or not is irrelevant, then YouTube is doing exactly what they're supposed to do, and the insider has no idea what they're talking about.
Videos where Crowder ridicules Mazza for being gay should be removed from the site immediately. If you look at the language of YouTube's policy, it says hurtful language is a potential justification for removing.
Wait a minute, just a small comment here. So all Crowder's saying is that this guy's gay. So that's hurtful?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's bad to be gay? That's what I'm saying.
That's pretty homophobic. And also,
that's pretty homophobic.
Also, hurtful is a pretty subjective standard, but if hurtful is the standard, then I really hate to see where this is going.
And YouTube literally used the word hurtful to describe Crowder's content in their first response to Mazza. As the story continued to gain traction, YouTube issued a second response. The site decided to remove ads from Crowder's channel,
not like he was
but it's
making
a lousy punishment
Yeah,
for two reasons. First, YouTube already limits monetization on videos about hot button issues that aren't deemed brand safe, even when those videos come from legitimate news outlets. Secondly, Crowder doesn't just make money from YouTube ads. Under his videos, he includes a link to his online store, where you can buy shirts like this.
Figs.
Yeah, figs.
To make this punishment even weaker, YouTube said it would re-monetize his channel if he removed that link. What is the point of punishing Crowder for making hurtful content if that content is still—
Wait, hold on. Just wait. Crowder is demonetized completely. He has no access to the $100,000 to $1.6 million he would be making off of his videos, as if he did anyway. And he has to remove the link from his shop, where he makes more money than he does on YouTube, in order to get back less money. How is this not a punishment? I'm very confused. So he has to get rid of something that makes him way more money than YouTube does, in order to placate YouTube just to have their videos on YouTube. Is that not a
Exactly.
punishment?
It's already a pretty clear punishment, but they didn't take down the video. Still harassment. So, yep, nope, still not good enough.
Okay.
Still available to the public. This entire situation calls into question YouTube's willingness to restrict accounts that perform well for them. Steven Crowder has millions of subscribers and banks millions of views with his videos. Because of YouTube, his influence is strong and his engagement is high. Punishing him would limit his influence, which in
he has a committed audience.
Yes,
He's got good content.
I think this is wait. I think this is where they bring in the fact that us conservatives are paying our oil money to YouTube, and so we influence them so much so that Fox News dominates every news channel. Don't you know this? Like,
oh, Fox News. Yes, because that's what's blowing up on YouTube. Fox News, mainstream media, late night. Yeah, that's what everyone's watching.
Yes, it's Fox News. And, by the way, Steven Crowder has 4 million subscribers. Let me just ask people, if you're watching this, have you heard of PewDiePie? With nearly 100 million now. I think they can.
PewDiePie.
Well, yeah, of course, subscribe to PewDiePie, but I mean, Steven Crowder will not exactly be missed by YouTube. Let's be honest. They make fun of them every chance they get, and then threaten to sue them whenever they get deplatformed. And before you say, well, that's why they don't want to touch them, Vox has 6 million subscribers and is funded by Comcast. I mean,
if they're literally funded by mainstream television outlets where they're streaming, you know, cable.
Yes.
Like, these are the companies that are, or these are the platforms that are paying for Vox. You know, these big corporations against Crowder, but you know, Crowder's the evil one here.
Crowder is the one who's influencing YouTube with his oil money. Also, who is this guy? The guy's name is, he says it in the beginning of the video, I'm not doxing or anything, but the guy's name is Mr. Ocbazghi. Ocbaz. I don't know. And I'm a little confused why Mr. Ocbazghi is constantly going after, like, jumping on the bandwagon with a 4 million subscriber channel, in addition to Vox's 6 million subscribers, so he has at least 10 million people against 4 million people, plus an unlimited funding. And Crowder is winning.
Exactly.
Just think about that for a second. Anyways.
In turn, limits YouTube's reach as a platform. With great power comes great responsibility.
Sure.
YouTube might have started as just a tool for content creators, but the company acts as much more than that today. It has an algorithm that recommends and surfaces videos that lots of people have already watched, dictating what gets in front of eyeballs. It's already doing things that influence what people do and don't watch, which means it's behaving much more like a media company than a simple publishing platform.
Publishing platform? That kind of doesn't work. You're kind of either a publisher or a platform. Very difficult to try and be both at once. And also, what was the point of this whole charade? Okay, YouTube is trending, so they tell people, or they recommend things for people to watch. And? I don't get how this has anything to do with harassment. Or Crowder or anything. Just seems like a tangent.
It does. I will ask Mr. Ocbazghi. I know, you know what? I actually agree with you here. YouTube has way too much power, and they're using it to, and they're not using it responsibly. They're using it for their own political leanings. If you don't like that influence, if you think that they should have a responsibility, then you know what? Let's get on the bandwagon. Let's get down in the comments. Let's go and let's work together to make sure that YouTube will declare whether it is a publisher or a platform. I think that'd be a great idea. I think you're onto something, Mr. Ocbazghi. And I will be asking on Twitter and commenting on this video to see if you will join us in asking YouTube this important question. Thank you for getting on the train.
Yes. Exactly. I think, Mr. Ocbazghi, we agree with you. We'd love to do this. Let's go to YouTube and find out if they're a publisher or platform. Brilliant idea. Let's control their power. No, he's right.
Exactly. Right. I mean,
the video are uploaded to YouTube every minute, and we watch 1 billion hours of YouTube content every day. So yeah, the power is there, but where is the responsibility? In a blog post, YouTube gave another reason why it wouldn't remove Crowder's videos. It says it's because the point of the videos wasn't to demean Carlos Maza. This is confusing and allows for other users to say hurtful comments with no repercussions, under the guise that those hurtful comments aren't the purpose of the video. YouTube says it's going to revisit its harassment policy, but all signs point to Crowder's videos remaining on the site.
But, you know, BPS was nearly banned off the site. Gavin McKenna's BPS, Paul Joseph Watson have all had videos removed. Crowder is now demonetized completely, and anything else I missed. I mean, it's not like there was no casualties in this.
Exactly. And this is just kind of ridiculous. He keeps going at this point, like what Crowder's doing, it's homophobic, it's terrible. He's just insulting.
He called him racist a minute ago. Did you hear that?
It's like, is he not reading what YouTube said? That wasn't the primary purpose. The purpose was to go over the video and make a rebuttal. And because they're essentially conservative late night, they had some jokes. I mean, they're not doing anything wrong. You don't know how you can read this the wrong way, unless, of course, they're not looking at it open-minded, and they're just looking at it. Crowder is bad. The right is bad. Ban it.
Exactly.
Just what the left wants.
And I do
want
have
to
a
take
question.
away your free speech.
So, you know, all this talk about a duty of YouTube to control harassment or to be more inclusive or whatever. So let's go over inclusive really quick. Inclusive, according to Google, is the including or covering all services, facilities, or items normally expected or required. So I'm curious, is banning those who disagree with you those last services you need to actually have an argument that is apparently so easy to debunk that a guy who dressed up as a tranny for content can defeat it in less than 10 minutes?
Excuse me, ma'am. It is ma'am.
Exactly.
I mean, YouTube is not he's not the person who's controlling your social media account. All they're supposed to do is just let you be able to upload what you want. If you sound stupid, then I'm sorry, that's on you. If you could be debunked by a guy who self-employs a bunch of people and, you know, sells mugs for a living, then okay.
Just a mug salesman.
Just a mug salesman who makes a couple jokes.
And I think that's what the left really doesn't understand about free speech. They look at people they don't like and they're just like, ban them. But they don't realize that what you say still has consequences. Now, that being said, in the US and on YouTube, you know, we want people to be able to say whatever they want as believers of free speech, even if we agree with them or not. But there's still consequences. I mean, open Nazis are not very popular. I mean, Richard Spencer, for example, I mean, is a laughingstock. He's still allowed to say what he wants, but that doesn't make him not a laughingstock. It's the same idea. If Crowder was actually bad, people wouldn't actually like him, but maybe what he's saying isn't so bad.
Yeah. And if you go back, if you take a step back, YouTube is a platform that encourages people who are naturally skilled, naturally charismatic, or have really great editing skills. Those are the videos that make it to the top. So I don't know why YouTube even has an algorithm, though. Just put the most viewed videos at the top. I don't get it. Or the most viewed of that day or something. Instead, it's like, oh, we're going to prioritize these special channels, but these ones get even less. This one gets X amount of views, and this one gets 500,000 less views, but we're not going to put it up there. Just put the ones with the highest views on there. I don't know why that they're policing it. Anyways.
Well, I think it's because Google and YouTube have special interests. Like people who give them more money, so they're like, oh, of course, watch these videos. They're better.
Right.
But not the way it should be.
Let's finish this up.
By refusing to restrict Crowder's homophobic and racist comments, YouTube is inadvertently greenlighting the use of this language in other places on its platform. I haven't even mentioned the fact that Crowder's followers went on to harass Mazza for days. This is not okay.
I don't know about that one, Chief.
Gay wonk is being told he's a gay wonk. This is not okay.
That's ridiculous, because...
Not to use the whole, well, you wore your skirt too high, but Carlos, you may have worn your skirt too high on this one. You called yourself all these names. I mean,
exactly.
Now, that's of course it's never justification to make death threats, but this is also the internet.
Never.
So if you get death threats, that's kind of like a rite of passage at this point. Everybody who you watch gets a death threat. If you can't handle it, then I suggest you get off of the platform. I'm just going to be honest.
Exactly. And I think there's kind of three things to say here. One, you know, of course, threatening people, harassment is never okay, but it's the internet. I mean, what do your moms tell you? You know, be careful on the internet.
Exactly.
Because people are mean, and you just kind of have to suck it up. Like, that's how it is. And most of them aren't serious. I mean, when people say, oh, go kill yourself, no one's being serious. I mean, that's ridiculous. And then finally, Crowder said in his videos, don't harass, don't dox people. Like, that's not good. We don't want you to do that. Don't be hateful. Let's show them that we're better. So it's just ridiculous. I mean, the people who were, if there was any real harassment, either it was fake or people were just messing with him. I mean, none of it was real.
Right. Well, I mean, I'll finish with the video.
For a company whose influence is growing exponentially, they could be setting a dangerous precedent.
Agreed. So let's get together and figure out this whole platform publishing business. I think it's a great idea.
Let's fix this.
Well, look, everyone on the right who looks, or even in the right of center, knows that any day they could wake up and their favorite YouTube channels will just disappear. And this is a terrifying. It used to never be as big, but with the attempted banning of BPS, it's extremely worrying. And I think we should definitely be more vigilant and make sure that YouTube can't get away with it. We're finally mobilizing into actual groups now. I have a theory that, well, not a theory, but an observation that this is kind of a proxy war of the culture war. The culture war is taking place here on YouTube. Is this the front line, or this is the proxy war for it? And if we win, and we manage to open up YouTube as a free speech platform, which we've proven that we can with the reinstatement of BPS, then we should do everything we can and maybe start crumbling this terrible ideology that's permeating all parts of our society.
Postmodernism, it's terrible that's taking over. And I think the issue with YouTube is, the sword is sharpened through fire, and YouTube's been slowly chipping away, but that's not going to work, because we're going to get stronger, and this is evident by all the outrage with BPS. Like, we were not quiet. We didn't let him do it, and they had to bring him back. Had they banned all of us at once, well, that would have been that. But because they're doing it slowly, we're only going to get stronger, and I think we could win this battle, but not after a very, very long fight.
And this is why I always go back to the point where the people on the right in today's society, especially if you believe in traditional values, are the new heretics, and postmodernism is the new Catholic Church. And I say that because it starts off with a few ideas getting spread around, little minor differences here and there, and suddenly one side is saying that they need to shut you up by any means necessary and encouraging violence, to the point where people are going to be burnt at the stake, maybe even literally with all the attacks we've seen in the streets. And it's very concerning. I mean, when the left take things straight out of 1984 and puts it into policy, we have to be able to fight back. And the first place that we do it is here. And let's hope it never gets to the point where we actually have to do it in trenches.
Absolutely. I mean, we're so lucky not to have been drafted. I mean, the U.S. hasn't had a draft since Vietnam. We're very lucky, so we need to fight for our freedoms on the internet if that's what we have to do. And we really are the new heretic. The YouTube overlords and the postmodernists, they control the universities, the schools, the media, they control California, and we have to fight back, but they're not going to let us have an honest, fair fight. They didn't let Trump have a fair fight back the Great Meme War of 2016.
Yes.
We're going to have to win with better ideas, and we're going to have to outsmart them, because they're going to use any trick necessary to get us to shut up, because we're right. If we were wrong, They would leave us alone. But because we're right, because we have the truth on our side, they have to shut us up.
Well, speaking of heresy, thank you for listening to our personal heresies here, debunking, I guess responding to this video from Insider, and Mr. I already forgot his name. I'll put it up in the description. Ocbazghi.
Ocbazghi. Something like that. Brave and beautiful. He's brave and
beautiful. Totally not a diversity hire. Follow
Diversity's a strength.
If you want more heresy like this, please follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and subscribe below. Anything helps us out. More subscribers and followers means we put more effort into this channel. Maybe get some better quality stuff, maybe some equipment. We'll see in the future. Want to add anything, Nathan?
Thank you, Austin. I would. And as always, I encourage you to comment. Let's start a conversation. Tell us if you agree. Tell us if you disagree. Tell us how brave and beautiful this host was of this Insider video. And just thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it.
God bless everybody.
All right. God bless.